Lights off, let's go green.
When he pulled the tooth, they found cancer there.
He was expecting it to be simply an infected tooth, not a very rare cancer.
You're just going along, living your life. Suddenly, new movie.
They're going to be carving out huge chunks of my skull.
Every human being has a story, and we intersect with that story at some of the most traumatic times in people's lives.
It would be very sad to not be able to see my kids' beautiful faces, watch them grow up.
Pam, that's the tumor that we found.
It can lead to blindness, and eventually it can compress her brainstem and lead to death.
Her chance of living for 6 months is very low, maybe 10%. Look at this heart. I mean, this is just a monster heart. Your heart was weak as a kitten.
Yeah. When's it ever going to end? You know, these hard times.
These are stories of real people. These are stories of the Sharp experience.
We lived in what can only be called a hippie commune. We were the original hippies, but we were the serious hippies.
Keep your head up high. Rest your...
So Leslie, my wife, I picked her up hitchhiking. And that's a short version. So Leslie and this other girl were by the side of the road, and my bus picked them up.
We got on that bus, and there was Daryl.
My friend Nicholas and I, we both looked at each other and went, hey, this is cool. And, and we're driving along, and pretty soon the two of them are singing in harmony. And I said, oh, come on, we got a couple of angels here. And we married them. Went looking for a place to buy a farm, and we found a place in Tennessee. We bought it, moved into the woods, made a life. And we ultimately ended up doing our own medical care, deliver our own babies, our own schools, published our own books, invented stuff. We were all a bunch of city slickers, and we did it.
But you can spread your wings.
I went into the dentist for a tooth cleaning. Tooth cleaning. They did an x-ray. They saw that this is a 3-rooted tooth. Only one was completely in bone. There was a tooth that's not there, the last tooth. That uncorked the genie. They found cancer there when they pulled that tooth out.
This is a stage 4 tumor. It's deeply invading the bone. It deeply invades the skull base.
Well, one of the first things that Dr. Mansfield established was that we're not, no longer trying to deal with a tooth here. We are trying to save your life.
Untreated, Daryl wouldn't survive more than several months to a year. The cancer has grown and eaten away all of these holes in the bone. We have to remove this entire segment in one piece.
When Dr. Mansfield actually showed us with how much they're going to take this and this out, we were both like...
They're going to be carving out huge chunks of my skull and stuff. And he comes up with this little gizmo that corks it all and makes it normal. Even if I were to go into a decline now, it'd be hard to bitch. I've really had a great life.
There will be a combination of treatments. In this case, surgery initially, followed by radiation therapy with chemotherapy.
2 thumbs up, we'll see you inside.
As a result, we'll have a much higher success rate in curing the cancer than simply with surgery alone.
You're the king. We're taking care of you. Everybody in that room is there to take care of you. You tell us what we need to do, okay? While that's happening, blood pressure cuff, cardiogram leads, pulse oximeter on your finger. None of this will hurt. And I'm going to give you some very special medicines in your IV. Whoosh, off to sleep.
Okay.
Next thing you know, awake, finished. I will be with you every second. Okay. Relax, if you can. You let me worry for you.
At 69, I've been playing goalie for things like strokes and heart attacks. And then broadsided by this cancer, it just really never occurred to me.
You're just going along, living your life, and suddenly, new movie.
Last time I'll have this much of a smile.
Keep your head up high. Rest your mind at ease. Don't let nothing get you down.
Lights off, let's go green. Here's a very nice view of the tumor. You can see a bulge here, and this is a tip of the iceberg where that's just the beginning of the tumor. Prepare the saw.
I will actually use a saw to make an incision through the cheekbone, into the nose, across the cheek, and into the skull base.
We're very close to delivering this. Look at how that fractures out. Just beautiful. The tumor's out.
Excellent.
So what we're doing now is we're taking samples of the peripheral margins for biopsy.
These tumors could have already spread, and that's a reality that we all have to live with, that we go through this entire process, and sometimes down the road we find that there really was something small, we just couldn't see it.
And there's where the tumor was located. Now there is a large hole. If we don't fix that, everything he eats goes out his nose. All right, let's get the obturator ready. So there's the obturator fitted. That's just lovely. Beautiful fit.
All done. Went great. Let me give you a big hug.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's great. He's fine. This is the first time you're seeing him after all this, right?
You made it.
Yeah.
You look like you look going in. You're still handsome.
2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up.
This is the worst, and you're surviving it.
Okay. Give that a try. It's got to snap in. You got to feel it. There you go. Feel
Yeah.
that snap?
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Thank God we build those obturators, though.
Good grief. I'd be a monster.
Okay, so why don't we chat a little bit about the pathology results?
Yeah.
Come on, sit over here with your wife if you don't mind, so we can face both of you together. So, one of the most important parts of the surgery is to decide what type of cancer we were dealing with, how the cancer is behaving. And today I have really difficult news about the cancer itself. And one of the most important questions I need to ask you as I go through this with you is that it really is a decision whether you want to have the cameras in the background or whether you want to talk privately first.
Privately first.
Okay.
It was bad. A biopsy of the cells was much more aggressive. They're in the prime of life, kicking butt, mine.
With the operation, you feel like you've come through something really big, and you want it to be done, and then you realize, oh, it's still here, you know?
Doesn't change the treatment, doesn't require further surgery. Chemo and radiation were inevitable in any case.
Your drip is about 1/3 done already. What we're going to do is clear any residual microscopic cancer that might be there.
Okay, you ready to start?
I'm not afraid of dying. The problem with my dying would be the impact on the people left behind, not on me. I think my wife would be upset for a while, but she has a dog.
You just want to appreciate and love what you have and get on with it, not waste any more time, you know, being bummed, and, you know, just get on and love our life.
I'm in good spirits because your attitude is optional. You choose it.
You did awesome.
Look at the resources being expended on this. I'm 69.
That was your first one.
You know, I feel obligated to do something worthwhile. This ain't free time from here on.
So first and foremost, you're finally finished your radiation therapy. Quite a journey.
Yeah.
So where we stand right now is that we don't feel at this point that further treatment is necessary.
Boy, do I ever like hearing that.
So what I'm really sharing with you today is that you are cancer-free. We have been able to effect an early cure for your cancer.
You guys did it.
Wow. Didn't expect this.
Oh, thank you for getting me through all this.
Just a bump in the road.
It would be very sad to not be able to see my kids' beautiful faces, watch them grow up. I'd be really devastated.
So Sally was recently pregnant. She had twins, and during her pregnancy, she noticed changes in her vision.
So I have like a pretty good field of vision still, but it's not as good as it once was, and I don't want it to get worse. So it's, I don't want it to be suddenly like this, like in a tunnel.
Here's your field of vision. This is your right eye. You can see how up here there's this black area. You had some trouble seeing the lights. Here's your left eye. And then again up here, you had some trouble seeing the lights.
When I go like this, I know something's happening up there, but I don't, see it very well. So it's kind of like this outer ring. I rely on my eyes for everything I do, from work to play to parenting.
She said I was pregnant, my vision got worse peripherally, and then when I delivered, it got better. And to the normal person, that may not make any sense, but to me, she was screaming loud and clear that I have a pituitary tumor.
So he did an MRI scan, and it showed a tumor arising from the base of the skull, which was unfortunately a brain tumor.
So here's the right and left eye. We trace the optic nerves going back towards the brain. Bam, that's the pituitary tumor that we found.
For a single mother with twins, it was pretty alarming to have to deal with that with 9-day-old babies.
Most likely this is a benign tumor, which means that it's not going to spread to other parts of her brain. It's not cancerous. That being said, nothing in the brain is truly benign, because if it continues to grow and we don't treat it, it can lead to blindness, and eventually it can compress her brainstem and lead to death.
Well, it's important that I guess, hold on to those memories. I just love gazing into their eyes. What if the pictures go black? It's terrifying.
So the surgery's done through the nostril.
Okay.
And that takes us straight back to the base of your skull. If we had to do this surgery in the old days, we'd have to make an incision on her skull, starting at the top of her head, coming down to her ear, pull her scalp forward, remove this bone, and then work underneath the brain to get to the tumor. Now, fortunately, we're able to do the same surgery, but through her nose, and still being able to remove the entirety of the tumor.
I'm just taking a deep breath and hoping it all works out.
Curious George visits the zoo. There was a lot to see at the zoo.
It'll be scary kind of looking at them for the last time before I go into surgery, for sure.
This is our neuro operating room. This is our microscope which we'll use. This will give us a direct view to the skull base. These sensors pick up a signal and it tells us exactly where in the brain we're located, and it'll show me on the screen exactly where we are.
What are your babies' names?
Sophie and Lexi.
See, I'm distracting you.
Yeah, I know.
Flowers and puppy dogs.
Yes, I have
Rainbow.
plenty of those too.
Do you?
I have 4 dogs.
4 dogs.
For Sally, like most of the population, losing vision is one of the main fears they could possibly have.
Take good care. This is all for the image guidance. Once he registers her face, It'll link it to the scan that we have, which will show us exactly where we are in the patient's brain. Looks good, Roy. So this is all bone at the base of the skull that we removed to get access to the tumor. So now we're just opening the lining of the brain. So this is all tumor right here, all this yellowish tissue. We're just picking away at it, removing it piece by piece. There's some tumor on there, Jackie. Here's some more. So we did get a preliminary report on the pathology. It looks like a pituitary adenoma, which is a benign type of tumor. It's not cancerous, so that's very good news. And the fact that we were able to remove everything that we saw means that hopefully she's cured at this point.
You did awesome.
Is it any better?
100% better.
Yay!
Well, let me show it to you because it's pretty impressive. Here was your right eye last time, and here it is today.
Wow, so that's dramatic.
It's all cleared up there. Here was your left eye.
Yay!
You're cured. Good job.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Being able to look at the visual field before she knew the results is the best part for me because I know, okay, her vision's perfect now, and I get to go in there and give her the good news.
Yeah. Peekaboo.
A lot of people describe my voice as having like a sadness or a pain in it. The pain that I'm going through is in my music, for sure.
Her knees are screwed up. It's been forever. She was born that way.
Oh, my right leg is killing me. I gotta stretch it a little bit or something. I just have suffered pretty much or made my way with the way that I was, put together. Yeah, I can't get up this. I'm into it. It hurts too bad. It's excruciating, like to the ground painful, like takes the breath out of you, painful.
I'm gonna do something a little unusual, don't be alarmed,
Okay.
I'm actually gonna put my ear on your knee, okay?
Okay.
I know, it's crazy, right? But I'm gonna listen, okay? Yeah. So it sounds like snap, crackle, pop in there,
Some
right?
percussion going on.
Oh, yeah.
First thing he said when he walked in the door, he's like, "Where you been, Felicia?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You should have come see me 20 years ago."
She has the knees of someone twice her age.
Those are not my knees, are they?
Oh, yeah. The bones are essentially touching on the inside. And this is really advanced arthritis, okay? This is way more than you deserve, okay? But that's what you got. The best solution we have to offer is a full knee replacement. And we're going to use some state-of-the-art technology to try to get you a prosthesis that'll actually bond and grow into your bone.
That's pretty fascinating.
It will literally become a part of her body. And once something's become a part of her body, it can't fail. Once you get a metallic lattice adjacent to bone, the blood from the bone adheres to it, and you have a piece of metal that is bonded biologically to the bone.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. I can't carry my own amp, which is really annoying because I want to be that like tough girl that plays in a band that carries her own stuff.
People always joke around that she's never written a happy song. And so a lot of her stuff is sad and in minor key and things like that. And she's actually in 2 bands, so sometimes we do a double set, and that's a good almost 3 hours on stage.
I look at pictures of me when I was a kid, and my knees they look strange. They look like they're indented. I tried to tough through it because that's kind of like the culture of my family.
Now that this has come up, maybe I wasn't as sympathetic as I should have been, I mean, I was raised in Scotland where you pick up, lassie, you don't complain, and it's just part of life.
So you're my only mission today.
Okay, awesome.
I'm gonna do a great job for you. I gotta sign your leg. I think this case presents enormous technical challenges. This procedure has to be done technically perfectly, and so there is really no room for error. There is no room for error. Everything matters. Knife, please. Start! When Felicia was a little girl, her kneecaps dislocated hundreds of times. Oh boy, this is just incredible. What's fascinating is a very large piece of bone that shouldn't be here, sitting right in her joint. This is very pathologic. We're going to carefully excise this. Wow. So this was just something, that's a little bonus. Isn't that crazy? Look at that. So far, there's not a good thing to say about Felicia's knee. Just like that. Okay, guys, excellent, excellent, excellent. So the whole major distal weight-bearing surface of her femur is completely diseased. Everything here is just gone. Absolutely just devastating. And this is the tibial cut. And this is the platform of the prosthesis. Okay. This is the moment where the implants are going in. All right, guys, stay with me. I'm happy where I am. And now this is going into Felicia's bone. And there it is. It's absolutely wonderful. I am thrilled. And this is a big moment. Okay, the tracking is really good. I think we've achieved perfection. I was actually pleasantly surprised how awful her knee was, okay? Because that means we were doing the right thing. Instead of cartilage on cartilage, you have highly polished chrome attached to titanium alloy.
Sounds like a hot rod.
That's what she's got.
Your walk, your first walk, congratulations.
Felicia has a life that matters, and she doesn't need to be on the sidelines, and that's kind of where she is right now. We need to get her back in the game.
You're gonna get a workout today. It's great to watch someone progress. That's why all the physical therapists here, we love our job. We love watching that process of people changing and growing and bringing them back to things that they want to do.
I just started practicing again with both my bands.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you have a performance coming up? She's getting back to what she loves. I can't wait to see her next show.
Having my new knee has like taken the pressure off the left side because I have a solid foundation on my right knee. I'm so much happier. I mean, I do things and I'm like, wow. I just like, I'll get excited and like put a little jog in my step. It's like being, reborn with a brand new knee.
Wiggle your purple toes. Say there's no place like home.
There's no place like home. I was gonna get a shirt made. So my mom's the strongest woman I know, so I still have to get it made for her.
Yeah, my heart is only working 23%, and it'll only get worse.
She couldn't even walk from our house to 2 houses away. That was it. She was finished. I need a car to come pick us up and take us back home.
Her chance of living for 6 months is very low, maybe 10%. She has a prognosis that's worse than pancreatic cancer.
We've been married 39 years. We met in high school.
10th grade. As soon as I showed up, she was the first one I saw. I know it's probably like a fairy tale, but that's how it happened. God gave me a gift, and that was her. So, sorry. I'm always getting emotional.
Maria is she's the strong one in the family. I think she's the center, the epicenter of their entire family, and I think that's true for a lot of women. They hold families together.
When the heart fails and the left ventricle can't pump blood forward anymore, a left ventricular assist device can be implanted in order to take over for the heart.
So this replaces the function of her left ventricle. The drive line comes across here, it goes to the external to get power into it and out of it.
We're entering the new era of mechanical circulatory support with this new HeartMate 3 device.
Now, we don't know today whether this will actually perform like we hope it will, and therefore the need for a clinical trial. Turn your coronaries up. We are the first center in the West to implant this device. Look at this heart. I mean, this is just a monster heart draining the left atrium. I'm gonna do a PA bubble Doppler. She's a pioneer. The lessons that we will learn will be crucial for the next generation of heart failure patients. Ooh, boy, this looks nasty in here. Nasty clot. In this country, 500,000 people die a year of heart failure. And many of them, if they had more flow, they could live normal lives. Hold your lungs for a moment. We will make a small hole in the very tip of her left ventricle. And then we will sew this ring right onto the tip of the heart. Keep the stitches coming. If we just sew this to that, to the heart, with a running stitch. Yeah. All right, give us the pump. And put this pump right like that, with this on the other side. We will snap this pump into her ventricle to lock it there, so the blood will come in here, go through the pump, out there, and then into the aorta. We gotta let this heart recover.
Once the pump is implanted, we can look at the cardiac ultrasound to see how the pump is actually working, whether the speeds are too high, too low, or in the right area.
Okay, turn your RPMs down to 4,000. At this point in time, the heart pump is in place. It's taken over her circulation beautifully. The heart's getting better by the minute.
Hi, Vincent.
I'm in the OR with Maria right now, and everything is going smoothly. The pump has been started. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Gonna good. Mom's a trooper. She's gonna hang in there,
Yeah.
right?
That's what she said.
She's gonna get through it.
Maria, surgery's all over. You're doing great, okay?
Your heart was weak as a kitten. The new pump is in and working beautifully. You have more blood flow now than you've had in a long time.
We gave her a lifeline. We offer hope. It's an amazing blessing to be in this position.
I'm just gonna take a listen to your new machine in here, okay?
Maria is a battery-operated woman at this time.
If I can help them overcome their heart failure so that they can get back to life, that is the most fulfilling thing in the world. If you so much as sneeze and don't like the way it sounds, you give us a call. Okay. You're ours and we're yours, whether you like it or not. So don't do anything crazy this weekend. I'm gonna give you a hug.
Thank you. She's like an astronaut. She's going where a lot of people have not gone.
We're almost out.
Yeah.
Time to go.
Take care,
Thank
Maria.
Thank you.
What we have now, we have time. We have time now. I'm glad for that.
Wiggle your purple toes. Say there's no place like home.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Our patients put their lives literally in our hands. We can't afford not to give everything we have to every single patient every time.
Hi, beautiful.
Here, let me give you some of my strength, some of my hope. That one hand on an arm, that arm around your shoulder. People get better when they are the center of everything you do.
So do you feel like you have a bionic knee now?
I do have a bionic knee.
How do you feel going a little bit faster?
Yeah, let's go.
You can hang? Oh, you want to race? Get a little cocky there with your little knee.
You were brave, very brave.
I couldn't see past the next day. Now I can.
This disease took Maria away from her husband and children, and this pump has reunited them. The preciousness of every moment is priceless.